The conversation begins with a bold personal assessment. The speaker places LeBron James as the third greatest player they have ever witnessed, ranking him behind Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. From there, the discussion shifts toward durability and commitment, specifically the idea of playing all 82 games in a season. When asked whether achieving that goal had been considered seriously, the response is measured, acknowledging it as a goal, but not something currently under active discussion. Shortly after, the tone becomes more personal, recalling advice from a teammate who encouraged resting after an ankle twist. The response, however, was driven by ambition. A refusal to sit out, fueled by the desire to build a name, prove capability, compete, win, and make an impact. Yet, even amid that intensity, there's a grounded reminder: at its core, it's still just basketball. The narrative then pivots dramatically to a heated exchange. A passionate LeBron supporter approaches Charles Barkley during a fan Q&A, armed with an arsenal of statistics and accolades. Confident and assertive, the fan lays out an argument centered on LeBron's extraordinary resume. Over 40,000 career points, making him the NBA's all-time leading scorer, along with top 5 rankings in assists and steady climbs in rebounds, steals, and blocks. Add to that 22 seasons of elite performance for championships, for MVP awards, and 21 All-NBA selections, and the case appears nearly unassailable on paper. The crowd reacts with excitement as the numbers stack up, each one reinforcing the argument's strength. However, Barkley's response shifts the entire conversation. Rather than dismissing LeBron, he begins by acknowledging his greatness, calling him one of the best players he has ever seen. But then comes a critical distinction: eras matter. Barkley points out that LeBron entered the NBA straight out of high school, giving him a 3 to 4 year head start over Jordan, who spent 3 years playing college basketball at University of North Carolina. This difference, Barkley argues, significantly impacts cumulative statistics, as LeBron had years to accumulate numbers while Jordan had not yet begun his professional career. To reframe the debate, Barkley proposes a more balanced comparison, evaluating both players based on the same number of games played. When viewed through this lens, the narrative changes dramatically. Jordan, in an equivalent number of games, scored approximately 5,000 more points than LeBron, a staggering margin equivalent to about 2.5 NBA seasons. Barkley further strengthens his case by highlighting interruptions in Jordan's career, including a broken foot early on and a 2-year retirement to pursue baseball. Factoring in those missed opportunities, Barkley argues that Jordan would likely hold the all-time scoring record if circumstances had been different. The argument deepens with another striking statistic. Jordan recorded 562 games with 30 or more points over 15 seasons, while LeBron, even after 22 seasons, sits just behind with 559 such games. This comparison challenges the idea that longevity alone defines greatness. Jordan's scoring average of 30.1 points per game remains the highest in NBA history, compared to LeBron's still impressive 27.0. Additionally, Jordan secured 10 scoring titles, while LeBron has just 1. When these figures are aligned, Barkley emphasizes that LeBron's scoring record stems more from sustained longevity than from surpassing Jordan's peak scoring dominance. The discussion then transitions from statistics to legacy building. Barkley underscores a fundamental difference in how both players approached their careers. Jordan spent his entire championship run with the Chicago Bulls, overcoming repeated playoff defeats against the Detroit Pistons before ultimately leading the Bulls to 6 championships in 8 years. He never left in search of an easier path, instead building a dynasty through persistence and internal development. LeBron's journey, by contrast, involved multiple team changes. After 7 seasons with the Cleveland Cavaliers without a title, he made a pivotal move to the Miami Heat, joining forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Later, he returned to Cleveland, orchestrating a trade for Kevin Love, and eventually moved to the Los Angeles Lakers to team up with Anthony Davis. This pattern of forming new championship cores stands in contrast to Jordan's single-team dynasty, fueling ongoing debates about team-building philosophies. The conversation reaches a pivotal moment when the fan is asked a simple but powerful question. With everything on the line in a Game 7, who would you choose, LeBron, Jordan, or Kobe? The fan remains loyal, choosing LeBron. Ironically, this answer reinforces Barkley's argument. Jordan never played a Game 7 in the NBA Finals, having won all 6 of his finals appearances without allowing a series to reach a deciding game. His perfect 6-0 finals record, combined with 6 finals MVP awards, underscores a level of dominance that remains unmatched. Further context highlights Jordan's legendary performances, such as averaging 41 points per game in the 1993 Finals against the Phoenix Suns. In contrast, LeBron's finals record stands at 4-6, including multiple losses to the Golden State Warriors. While reaching the finals 10 times is an extraordinary achievement, critics argue that Jordan's flawless execution on the biggest stage sets a different standard. The narrative then shifts to a modern perspective as Jordan himself appears in a rare media segment with NBC. Addressing the topic of load management, he expresses clear disapproval, emphasizing that every game was an opportunity to prove himself, not just for personal pride, but for the fans who paid to watch him play. He recalls a time when players felt a deep responsibility to perform whenever physically able, rejecting the concept of scheduled rest. Jordan also reflects on the now-defunct love of the game clause, which once allowed players to participate in informal games without risking their contracts. For him, this represented pure passion, an unfiltered love for basketball that transcended professional obligations. That same sentiment echoes earlier in the narrative. At the end of the day, it's still just basketball. As the discussion broadens, it becomes clear that comparing greatness extends beyond statistics. Jordan's career represents peak dominance, relentless competitiveness, and an unwavering commitment to winning. His influence reshaped the global image of basketball, from elevating the Bulls brand to inspiring the iconic Air Jordan movement. LeBron, on the other hand, has redefined modern greatness through versatility, longevity, leadership, and impact beyond the court, including social activism and player empowerment. Stylistically, the two players differ as well. Jordan thrived on mid-range mastery, defensive intensity, and scoring precision, even earning Defensive Player of the Year honors. LeBron's game is built on versatility, combining elite passing, physical dominance, and the ability to excel in multiple roles. Their leadership styles also diverge. Jordan demanded excellence through intensity, while LeBron strategically builds teams to maximize success. Era differences further complicate the debate. Jordan competed in a more physical league with fewer offensive protections, while LeBron dominates in a faster-paced, analytics-driven era. Each context presents unique challenges, making direct comparisons inherently complex. Ultimately, the debate comes down to values. If one prioritizes peak performance, flawless finals execution, and psychological dominance, Jordan stands above. If longevity, adaptability, and all-around excellence define greatness, LeBron presents a compelling case. Both players have transformed the game in profound ways, leaving legacies that extend far beyond numbers. In the end, the question may not be who is better, but rather how rare it is to witness such extraordinary talent in any era. Whether one aligns with Jordan's perfection or LeBron's evolution, both represent the pinnacle of basketball greatness, two legends whose impact will be felt for generations.